What is going on, guys? Death here, and we're back with another video for Genshin Impact. In this one I have some tips on how you guys can beat the level 4 Cryo Regisvine from the event, the Chalk Prince and the Dragon. A lot of people seem to be having problem with this, but in this video I'm gonna give you the best tips on how you can get this done in under a minute. Now your characters are gonna play a big role in this, but all the characters can be used for this event. There are some specific things you're gonna have to keep in mind, like for example elemental resistances and elemental damage, but apart from that you can run a lot of different teams with this strategy. First off, you're gonna need a nuker. You're gonna need a character that does not attack until the Cryo Regisvine hits the ground. There's a lot of characters that you can use for this. Child, Diluc, Klee, Razor, the list goes on and on. There's a lot of characters that if you built right, like DPSs, they're gonna be able to nuke this Regisvine. Now, you're also gonna need a secondary DPS character. This is to actually knock down the Regisvine and snap it from its standing form. After this, you're gonna need a support to your nuker. You're gonna need a character that will increase the damage of the character that's gonna be dealing all the damage to the flower. And last but not least, you need a character to break the bubble around the flowers, preferably being able to heal you. So characters that work very good for this would be things like Bennett, Jean, and maybe even Chi-Chi. Now, I highly advise you guys build Bennett. He is insanely good for this event, mainly for everything, but Bennett is really good for this event simply because he's going to be able to spam his E or R2 ability very often, allowing him to take out the little slimes around the bubble and breaking the bubble very fast. That's why I highly recommend you run Bennett, but characters like Jing Yang, characters like Klee, characters like Zhang Ling are going to be also really good for this. But like I said, the ability to heal and deal the damage so quickly and its slow cooldown, it's why I chose Bennett. Now, the secondary DPS I like running, it's Faisal, but that's because my main DPS or my nuker is gonna be Child. So their interaction with elements is gonna be really nice, and she's gonna allow my Child to deal a lot more damage with the Hydro-Electro interactions. Now, you're gonna need a character to actually break the flower and knock it to the ground. You need something that could do high damage. For this, I highly advise something like Diluc, Razor, Klee. Any of those three characters work insanely good, but you will be able to break, the flower with many others. I just happen to think those three are insanely good. After you break down the flower, you're gonna go in and place your supportive character's ability, in this case, my Faisal, and then you're gonna proceed to go all out with your main DPS. So let's break it down one more time. You're gonna need a main DPS, aka your nuker. These are the other options that you guys can run for this. You're gonna need a secondary DPS to break the flower and have it fall. These are the options that I recommend for this. You're gonna need a support unit that increases the damage on your nuker. These are some very good support characters. And you're gonna need a character to break the bubble and preferably heal you. These are characters that are very good for that. Now that we understand this, what else can you do in order to increase your damage? I highly advise, especially if you're a free-to-play player, make food that buffs your damage. This often goes overlooked, but if you're having problems killing the Cryo Regisvine and you're not eating food, we already have a problem. So make sure you go out of your way, craft the best damage boosting food you can, and just chug it up and go out of your way and deal the damage. Now that we've gotten the basis understood, you can talk about team building. Always make sure your team has great synergy no matter what it is. Make sure you have a lot of burst damage as well, as you do not want this flower to get back up from its first round. With that being said, let's actually put to the test everything I just said, and let's check out the damage. And before you guys go out of your way and say that constellations might play a part on this, if you broke down everything I just said, my main damage is going to come from Child, and his constellations don't really increase his damage, or to be clearer, you could reach what he does in this video with simple talents. His actual refresh from the C6 does not play a part on this, and neither do his other abilities. So with that being said, let's actually test out how we do this, and let's go. Alright, now that we're about to start this, a big tip I want to give you is stand next to these pillars here, as you want to be able to take them down as soon as they pop up. Simple. So these guys will pop up, you'll grab this, you'll break it. Make sure you dodge all these things that you see dropping. There we go. Simple, easy. This is why I like Bennett. You're going to be able to take out these slimes fairly quickly. There we go. The thing is down. Wait for it to actually stand up so all your damage actually ticks in, guys. It's very important that you do this. There we go. I'll leave Bennett out of the way. I'll let the Luke do its work. He'll break the flower, allowing it to drop. There we go. Then I'll drop a facial right here, and then I'll go in with Child. Only activating his ability right now. I'm not using anything else. Just going in. Remember, food plays a big role, guys. So if you're able to go in there and just do this, you're going to have an insane amount of work cut out for you. You're going to have to make sure your team is right, but it doesn't really seem as complicated as you think. All you got to do is make sure your team is built right, and keep in mind what I said. You want to make sure you have a main nuker, a secondary DPS. You want to make sure you have a support to allow your main DPS to deal more damage, as you saw the interactions with Child and Facial, and you want to make sure you have a character to break the flower. It's simple as that. There's not much math to it, but a lot of people are going in there without any synergy into their team. Even if they have them, you know, decked out with powerful characters, they're going in there without roles, without synergy, and they just expect to survive. Now, that's how I advise you guys build your team. That's how I advise y'all build your characters. I gave you some ideas on the screen, and that's pretty much it. If you're still having some problems with this, just hit me up on Discord, hit me up on stream, and I'll be more than happy to go in and help you out with this event. That's pretty much it. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications so you know when we post a video or we go live, and make sure you join our Discord. We have a glorious community that loves Genshin Impact. For now, I'll see you guys next time. Your boy Deathsquad out.